thought our atmosphere was great. The energy level was high, and you could definitely feel the excitement and the passion from our fans for a night game, and to get back in that stadium was incredible. And you could just feel it. You could feel it from the time that we unloaded and through Hog Walk all the way through. Was just an incredible environment. I thought our team continues to fight. They play extremely hard to the very end, and that again was evident last Saturday night as we cut the lead to 1 score with 5 minutes to go, and an opportunity to get the ball back. But I thought offensively, we played and competed hard. They didn't do anything different than we had seen all week long and what we had prepared for. We were not as consistent as we've been in the past, especially up front in our pass protection and what we needed to be. I didn't think that was our best performance overall as a group. We couldn't get anything going in the run game, and they made us one-dimensional, and that was evident. But still, with all this, our grit, our toughness, our continue to fight, get back up, got us back in the game with a chance to win it with 1 stop. And so with that, I'm thankful for their fight and they're continuing to compete. Defensively, I thought we played extremely hard. Our guys did exactly what we challenged them to do all week long, and that was to see how many red jerseys we could get to the football at the whistle. We had guys flying all over the field, and that was good to see. I thought Cam Curl and Santos Ramirez played as physical in the run game as they have all year long. They tackled extremely well. They negated a lot of runs at the line of scrimmage because of their physicalness. We had 2 critical errors and a penalty. We had a busted coverage off of a short field in the early part of the first quarter when we couldn't flip the field in some field position, which gave up a touchdown. We had a 14-play drive, and we had them 2nd and 17. Got them stopped in his 3rd and 15, and we get a critical targeting call that kept their drive alive, and they went on down and scored. So 14 points. And defensively, we needed 1 more stop. That's what we needed. Bottom line, but because of our guys continue to play hard and compete, we gave ourselves a chance. And we have seen improvements. This football team has improved. Defensively, we've improved in a lot of areas, and we're allowing less points and yards per game than last year. Our sacks are up. I think we've got 26 sacks this year, and we had 12 last year. Armand Watts ranked 6th in the SEC with 7 of those. TFLs, we got 64 this year. They had 48 last year. Turnovers, 14 this year, 13 last year. And 3rd down efficiency, 35% this year, 48% last year. So we are seeing some improvements. We are. And I'm very proud to see some progress that's being made and to see the fight that these guys are continuing to give. We got a tough road test. It'll be our first true road game since September 22nd. So getting back out on the road, we got a tough opponent. Mississippi State, Coach Moorhead has done a great job there. They got a lot of returning starters. Matter of fact, the majority of their team is returning. The defense is as good as advertised, #1 in the SEC. It's the fastest overall defense that we've seen. Extremely aggressive. They are very pressure oriented. And you can tell that by the number of turnovers that they've created. They pressure from all angles. They're the top pass. They got the top pass rusher in the league, and Montez Sweat, which is he's a dynamic player and very disruptive. Offensively, led by senior quarterback Nick Fitzgerald, which has done a great job for him. Leads the SEC, all-time rushing quarterback leader in the SEC. A lot of his runs are off RPOs. And they're downhill, a lot of power, a lot of counter with him, but he's very efficient, and when he has to throw the football, he's very effective and does some really good things there. They do a good job of protecting the football, so we've got our work cut out for us, and the guys were back in here last night, and coming back to work, and that's always encouraging to watch these guys come back in here and get ready to get back out on that field. So with that, I'll open up.
Raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you.
Coach,
what's the latest with Rakeem Boyd and the other injuries?
Yeah, Rakeem was out there yesterday in Green, so we anticipate him being back. Devois was actually in Green yesterday, running around, going through workout. We're anticipating him being back as well. So, and Devion, we expect him to be back.
Yeah, Chad, I know Van Malone, who's your coordinator at SMU, is an analyst there at Mississippi State now. Just what impact do you think that could have? Because he obviously knows you guys really well. Do you have to change signals or adjust, or just how does that impact your preparation?
Well, yeah, Van was with us and at SMU, and a great coach, and does a great job, and been around this game for a long time, and very knowledgeable. And yeah, well, there'll be some things that we'll change up and be different with, but you know, overall, you are who you are at this point in time of the year, and you just got to go and execute.
On the Joe Moorhead offense, do you guys have to go back and study what he was doing at Penn State, like that, or simply based on this year because he's fitting Fitzgerald and those guys into what he's doing?
Yeah, I think it's more of that. I think he's done a good job of adapting to the personnel that he has, and he's always been very innovative offensively everywhere he's been. And it's no different here. You're seeing some really innovative quarterback runs and taking advantage of Nick. And Nick is sees it well. He's got a lot of snaps underneath him and understands the game.
What kind of problems does a big running quarterback, I guess more like a big tailback, present to a defense? And also Deion Edwards, what's his status?
Yeah, we got Deion. Deion is back out there yesterday in Green. It was an ankle, and so we anticipate him being all right. You know, from just a run game standpoint, you know, when you're able to run your quarterback, you really create an extra gap there when you do that. You know, he's big, he's physical, he's downhill, and he's got really good speed as well. So we've got to do a good job of tackling and being gap sound in everything we do. And again, there's always a throw off of it, whether it's a throw in the flat or a vertical throw. He's really, you know, we say he's really patient as he gets into his run game.
Yeah, Chad, Mississippi State's known for the cowbells, and by rule they're not supposed to ring them once, I guess, the center gets over the ball, but it's pretty irritating if you've never been there. Have you ever experienced that? Do you pipe in cowbells, or what's your take on the whole cowbell thing?
Well, I haven't been there. I've heard about the environment, and I'm sure it'll be loud, and we'll definitely prepare our players for every environment we go into. And so, yeah, I definitely believe that it's everybody that I've talked to says that the cowbells are pretty loud. So,
with CJ, he was targeted I think 14 times, and maybe no one else had more than 5. Is that a good thing, or you want to broaden out more? How would you?
Well, I think some of it, probably the game dictated a lot of that. We were trying to get the bigger body guy matched up as much as we could, especially down in the red zone and some short yardage when we could. Yeah, I think you always like to distribute the ball, all over the field as much as you can. But so yeah, but we were definitely trying to get the ball to him in some of the red zone calls.
With your run game, how important is it to have the receiver runs where you get the edge and stuff like that? And it hasn't been very effective. Then you had Boyd running into Jordan the other night too.
Yeah, that was obviously disappointing. I mean, that's something we've done for, golly, as long as I can remember. I've never had something like that happen. But their defensive end did a great job of charging up the field, which caused Jordan to deepen his path, and Rakeem stepped out in front of him. So that's unfortunate. But we've got you want to get to the edge. You got to get the ball outside. Got to get the ball out to your playmakers on the edge, whether it's through speed sweeps, whether it's just quick screens out on the edge. And when you do get a screen out there, and you got to hat them up, you got to be able to make something happen. And so, but that's part of who we are and where we're transitioning. And but yeah, there's no question on that.
Hey, Chad, you know Joe Moorhead very well. He took an interesting path the SEC, Fordham through Penn State. That's not, probably not a lot of SEC guys coached at Fordham. I'm just wondering what you think about Joe, how well you know him.
You know, I've had a chance to, you know, come in contact with Coach several times, just through, you know, different acquaintances. Maybe it's at a convention. And then, obviously, since us joining the league together at the same time and being in different meetings, we've had a chance to visit a little bit. And I think he's, as I shared earlier, I think he's got a great offensive mind. He's won everywhere he's ever been. Got great respect for what he's done and what he continues to do.
Coach, do you guys have any evaluation days left in this period, and also your plans on finishing this recruiting class?
Yeah, we do. We do have some, and we use those up. You know, now through the next, I guess, the next week and a half. And then as far as finishing up our recruiting class, you know, we won't be finished this recruiting class until, you know, February signing day, essentially. So we're constantly recruiting. It was extremely impressive, the amount of recruits and that we had on campus this past Saturday for the game, and for them to see that environment and our fans was very special. You know, we had some very elite players on campus, and it was impressive to see.
You mentioned Austin Cantrell after the game. I know Gerard Barnes has already decided to leave. Also, is there anyone else that has notified you already that they've decided to leave?
That'll be something we'll probably talk about after the season's over with. You know, obviously, you know, Austin, you know, going through senior day, and you know, he and I'll sit down after the season's over and talk a little bit more. But that was a decision he wanted, and definitely was glad he was able to, him and his family, to be able to experience that for what he's done here.
Coach, is there any possibility you can see Connor Nolan or John Stephen Jones get playing time in these last 2 games at quarterback?
Yeah, there is, and I anticipate, you know, the game presents itself in a way that we feel like that, yes.
I know you didn't like having all these 11 a.m. games at home, but I would think as a road team you like it, because one, maybe that takes their crowd out of it a little bit, and also you get home earlier. How do you feel about an 11 a.m. game on the road as opposed to one at home?
Well, we've definitely been used to 11 a.m. games, so we know how to respond to that. So our guys are going to get up and be ready to go. But you know, it's irrelevant at this point. We're gonna get up, be excited about this opportunity we've got in front of us, 11 o'clock, and get our guys. The one good thing about 11 a.m. game, you don't have to sit around the hotel all day. So these guys will get up. We'll do all our meetings here Friday, and get on the plane, travel, and get up and get ready to go.
And you like the fact that you get back home, you know,
oh, yeah.
Better time?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially coming on into a short week the next week.
Cornelius kind of back in the swing again. Was part of that just his getting over his injury that took him so long to kind of play like he was capable?
Well, I think, you know, I think there's a combination of a lot of things that played into that. I think he's, you know, definitely getting back out there and being healthy helps. You know, and you know, the way that they were playing coverage and being able to get him open up underneath. I think there's just a lot of things that weighed into that. But definitely his health has helped him.
Any more questions for Coach Morris?
All right. Thank you.
Coach.